40 years of educational excellence.
With our program after the speech delivered by the chief guest. I invite the chief guest to come to the stage and say a few words.
Worthy Principal, honorable guests, dear children, and adults. One does not know what to say, who to address. And today is a similar situation. Perhaps I could say a few words on a subject that is of late very close to my heart. As someone who has pursued a career in one branch of science and subsequently had to, for his country and the nation, pursue something totally different. As you know, I have been assigned the task of being chairman of the Prime Minister's Literacy Commission for now about 10-12 weeks. And during that time, I have realized that of all the things that need to be done in this country, perhaps, not perhaps, I know it for sure, the most important thing is to educate our young. But before I embark on a rather lengthy discourse on that, let me praise the hard work that went into making this show such a tremendous success. It really was as good a show that I have ever seen anywhere in the world. It is hard to be judgmental to the performance of amateur little children, but if I were to say which was the best, it is impossible to be accurate. But what grabbed my heart most was the show of little fairies in Kashmir. Those pretty little girls, they really took my heart away. I am a father of two little girls myself. Probably that is one of the reasons that I found that absolutely divine. Now to a rather serious note. Ladies and gentlemen, your children will excuse me for talking on this subject. As fellow Pakistanis, I ask you to cast your mind to one subject. Have we ever taken time to wonder why our great religion started with Iqrar Ismi Rabbika Alladhi Khalaq? Was it just a coincidence? It could have been ayah number 1121, but it just happened to be number 1? Or was it to signify that this religion was based on knowledge, not on fears, not on superstitions, but knowledge? And the only way you can acquire knowledge is through learning. So the first commandment through Holy Prophet that of Allah was Iqra, go and learn. And what a shame, this nation of Muslims created in the name of Islam cannot read or write. About 70 or 60s, 69% or 61%, whatever figure you wish to take, cannot read or write 1420 years after Iqra. That is the gravity of shame. That not only that 70-odd% of the nation cannot read or write, even today as we embark, as we stand at the threshold of a new millennium, 7.1 million of our children are out of school. 7.1 million. That is the population of more than 40 countries in the world have population less than that. And we have that many children out of primary schools, just primary schools. How did we get there? We got there because we made a fundamental mistake. We went about the business of developing a country without developing its people, without realizing that development of a country was development of its people. 27 million from apart. If we had 100% literate and educated and technically qualified population, then we will be the greatest nation on earth. And nothing short of that will get us anywhere. Ruled by rascals. Some good men ruled us. Through bad methodology maybe. We had dictatorship of the benevolence, of the good. I am not here merely as a parochial politician to defend my own corner. Talking of history in the last 50 years, at least 20 or 25 odd years, there have been people who meant it well. They wanted this country to progress, but perhaps they did not know what progress meant. To them, building a heavy mechanical complex or a heavy electrical complex was progress. Putting a little primary school in the middle of nowhere was not. And here we have it. We have the heavy mechanical complex. While I'm at it, I give you one small example. I asked a large firm to take over a heavy mechanical complex for nothing. For nothing, just run it. And they would not have it. They would not have it because they do not think there are people in Pakistan who can run it. And if they are to bring people from Australia or from Germany, it is not feasible. So that is the depth of degradation, that the money we spent on Sandoz, the money we spent on heavy mechanical complex, electrical complex has gone to waste because buildings and machineries do not work. People do, and we do not have people to work those machineries and those buildings. So that is the dilemma we face as we approach the new millennium. What is to be done? I think at this stage the nation and through it its rulers have to realize that development is nothing different or nothing more nor a little less than development of the people, the Human Development Index, and in that, even before health comes the education. Because a healthy person is not automatically educated, but an educated person is automatically healthy. You cut out 40% of diseases by just education, but you cannot cut out 40% of illiteracy by health. So education comes even before health. So that ought to be the agenda number one. And the present government, with all its failing, has the vision and the commitment to see that that is what needs doing. And that is what we are heading for. My commission has been assigned the task of putting every child in Pakistan in school within a finite period of time, and that finite period of time, inshallah, is going to be 4 years. If I could put things in perspective, it would, in the ordinary way, it will take something like 124 billion rupees just to build schools. Never mind putting teachers. 124 billion to put a primary school for all those children who are out of school. But the Prime Minister's Literacy Commission, through its pilot project, now has a system which can work in the money that can be made available. We can put a school without the building, without the furniture, just the teacher and the taught. After all, that is what a school is. Teacher and the taught. And the books and the chalk and the blackboard, and that is what the Commission does. Provide these facilities to where they are needed most. And that costs just 10 to 12,000 per school, and we plan to have 250,000 of those schools, costing us no more than 2-3 billion rupees to put up. And when every single school is operational, when every child in Pakistan is in a school of a sort, even then the cost will be, annual cost will be in the region of 5 billion, 5.1 billion to be precise. So that is what we are embarked on. But let me digress a little. State should provide health, state should provide education, state should provide security, but what if it doesn't? Should the society and a nation shrivel up and go to sleep and say, we will not educate, we will do nothing for our health, we will do nothing for our law and order because the state has failed. It does not hurt my pride to say that the state of Pakistan is unable to do these things as well as it should. It is not, state does not belong to me, neither does the government, it belongs to us all. And there is no shame in admitting that the system is not working, but we cannot wait until such time that the systems do start working, and that is where the citizens and the private enterprise comes in. I am delighted that Honorable Principal, Mrs. Azhar, has very kindly offered to help this program along. She has offered to help us in the area where we need their help most, in training our teachers, in quality control, in perhaps showing our teachers who are young and novices in what education is all about. But more than that, I want all segments of society, I want all organizations, charitable or otherwise, to come forward and say this is our country and this is our nation and it is through our effort that this country is going to get somewhere. We cannot and we must not wait for the state to provide everything. Because end of the day, the nation and the country will be as good as its people. And those people are no good without education. One other thing that really excites me about the program we are undertaking is that some 70% of the pupils in the 7,000 schools that we have under Prime Minister's Literacy Commission are girls. Some 83% of the teachers are females. And I have been in the believer in the fact that teaching a boy, your son, is good for the next generation. Teaching the girl is good for the future and beyond. And it is no coincidence. I keep coming back to the concepts and precepts of our religion. We have unfortunately grown accustomed to the idea of taking religious diktats as homilies, as things that are to be said and heard without trying to grasp deeper and bigger meanings. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, anyone who brings up two girls well is bound to go to Jannah. What does that mean? Why not two boys? Why not two boys? Because if you bring up two girls well, if everybody brought up their girls well, this is the Jannah. You do not have to wait and die to go to Jannah. If you brought up your girls well, if you educated them, Jannah is here and today and forever after. You do not see criminals out who are children of mothers who are good and educated. You see a much lower proportion of people committing crimes, those who went to schools where they were taught by girls, by women. It is for those reasons too we cannot write off, we cannot ignore. 70% of our girls do not go to 5th class, let alone passing it. 70% of our girls either do not go to a primary school or they do not reach 5th class. And it is that 70% that the Commission will be catering for. And I ask of you, all of you, parents, teachers, everyone present here, to just think about this nation. This nation is getting nowhere. This nation is getting nowhere without education, and our priority number one should be education, and that must start today. I will welcome, Prime Minister's Literacy Commission will welcome any support it gets from any quarter. And in the field of teaching, if there is anything I can do for any school, I am meeting the Confederation of Private Institutions, Rawalpindi, Islamabad, and subsequently that of the country. And seeing, because I am convinced that unless we pool our resources and everybody makes it a priority number one for them, we will get nowhere. But together, inshallah, we will. I am most grateful to the administration of the school for allowing me this time to share my views with you, and I thank you for it.
40 years of educational excellence.